Is it worth it? Can you even hear me? Staring with the spotlight on me. Is it worth it? Can you even hear me? Is it worth it? Can you even hear me?
That's annoying because, USB is supposed to be a universal cable. Like it says right on the name that it has. So I would think that one USB cable would be all USB cables, but
you'd think. Another point of disillusionment with the world we live in there, Chris.
Yep. Yes, indeed.
What? Yeah, it all started going downhill when USB no longer stood for universal. There's USB 2, 2.1, 3, 3.1, 3.2. Back in my day.
I just want a USB filled USB cable.
Yeah, right.
Should we test our latency just so we know what we're working with?
Yeah.
All right.
3, 2, 1. It's not horrible. I had like it was like it's better than it has been.
Yeah, I did clear my cache. I'm not running anything I don't have to.
Okay.
I don't think. Cool. Yeah. No, we'll rock with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's that? Did you see Chernobyl?
Chernobyl, like the show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that 3.4 roentgens. Not great. Not terrible.
Oh, yeah. That wasn't audio only recording. Okay, cool. I was just starting. You can record in here, and I want to figure out. Like, I never do it, but I should because I feel like it would be the best. But okay. But so. Besides announcing the special thing, what are we talking about today?
I don't know, man. I didn't really have a whole lot.
Yeah, me neither.
I do. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Gonna be one of those nights. It's gonna be the Diane Williamson column where she wrote about how she didn't have an idea for a column.
Yeah. It is gonna be a little bit like that unless we turn things around like right now.
I do have an icebreaker for you, Bill.
All right, let's break the ice and then we're just gonna wing it.
Okay. Yeah. So first of all, it is Sunday, April 26th, and you are listening to Outdoor Cats. This is Chris this time doing the thing. Here with my co-host Bill.
That's right. That's me.
Is it episode 63?
It's either 62 or 63.
I think it's 63.
Oh.
We're going to say it's 63, and if it's not, then tough titties. All right. So yeah, I guessing you heard about the little thing that happened at the White House Correspondents' Dinner last night.
Yeah. Waste of money, dude.
Yeah. Waste of, I don't know. Waste of a lot of things.
I sunk a lot of money into that.
You know, you gotta...
They told me the Polymarket bet was foolproof, right? Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Don't come to my house in federal investigators. I'm so kidding. Yeah, so I did hear about it. I watched the grainy security footage. I opened the New York Times and saw that they had a like centerfold story about the guy's manifesto, and then closed out of it and made a synth. That's about all I know about it.
That was the right move. I heard about it last night, like as it was happening. Aaron got like a breaking news thing, so I flipped on. I don't know, just whatever it was, like MS Now or some shit. I just was flipped on their live stream on YouTube, and then kind of half listened just to sort of get the gist of what was going on for a little bit, and then I heard that the president was going to speak from the White House, and I was like, that's going to be must see TV, and it wasn't, unless I mean, unless you're really into the theater of the absurd.
And it just wasn't.
Yeah, no, it really wasn't that great. Trump just isn't as funny as he used to be. He's like that, that old terrier that just gets a little too mean.
Yeah, that's a good analogy. Like their hair is like made out of straw. And,
their eyes are just constantly like stuck together with goop, and they hurt, and they weren't made to live this long.
And just irritable.
Yeah. Whatever. It's not even worth getting into that stuff. My point in bringing this up was that I am full tinfoil hat on this one. I don't know what happened, but the whole situation just smells really weird and funny. And I don't want to talk about that earnestly, unless you have some dying desire to.
No.
What I did want to ask you is, I'm putting you on the spot here.
Mm-hmm.
What is off the top of your head, and I can go first if you want, if you need a second to think, because I have, and that's not fair. What is your favorite conspiracy theory idea? What would the funniest conspiracy theory about this be?
The funniest conspiracy theory about this would be JD Vance pulling an LBJ and just fucking sucking at it. Like, just doing such a bad job.
Yeah. I think that's definitely up there. My JD theory is that he just really wanted to have a second to get away from Usher and hang out with what's Charlie Kirk's? Erica Kirk.
Erica Kirk.
Erica Kirk.
Erica Kirk.
They're both there. But my actual theory is that when was the last time, before last night, when was the last time you thought about the White House Correspondents' Dinner?
When everyone was saying that was the reason why Trump ran in the first place in like 2017.
Yeah, which is a really interesting theory. I don't know if I agree with it, but it is a very interesting theory. That he got so irritated at Barack Obama and whoever the comedian was that night talking about him that he decided to say, "I'll show you," and ran for president out of spite. Here we are.
That was like a centerpiece of Ta-Nehisi Coates' really good essay from that time that I still remember, called "The First White President," and I do think that that's probably the best way to think about Donald Trump in general as being the first white president. I don't think I need to explain that very much, but
Nope.
But anyway, so the White House Correspondents' Dinner, don't think about it very much.
Yeah, haven't really thought about it since about then. It was a hot thing every year because the president would go and the press would roast them. And then before last night, Trump never went. So it really hadn't been to do that anyone gave a shit about in like 10 years. I don't know if Joe Biden went or not. If he did, he probably like slept through it, or they were, afraid to say anything about him because he might poop his pants. But my theory, it's not actually very funny, but my zany theory is that this was an inside-outside job perpetrated by the White House correspondents.
The correspondents did it.
Yes. Cui bono. Who benefits? And
So,
who benefit?
no, go ahead.
I was just going to say, the obvious benefactor in this to me, if Trump did this for his benefit, I don't know what the fuck. He's even more cooked than I thought, because this is going to be a wet fart in the grand scheme of. This is not turning around any poll numbers.
No.
But if the White House correspondents did it so that people would pay attention to their dinner for the first time in a decade, then, mission accomplished.
Yeah. I mean, so it has me asking right now for the first time in my life the question of who are the correspondents? Like, what is the entity that does this? What qualifies you as a White House correspondent? Are there even White House correspondents anymore? Didn't they kind of all get kicked out? Or no, wait, that's the Pentagon.
I think a lot of them got replaced, and that was like why Trump was going again, is because they got rid of all the people that he didn't like. I don't know, and I don't really care, so I'm probably not going to know if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I mean that's been my least favorite and most embarrassing a part of my profession for a long time is the access trading strain of journalism that goes into having an institution like the Correspondence. And another recessed memory from Trump 1 is remember when, what was his name, Jim Acosta asked like the first rude question that any White House correspondent has ever asked, and he was like, he had like a week-long news cycle of everyone being like, this guy's gonna turn things around. Yeah. And he did a great job with that. It was just like, he was just like, sir, why are you lying to me? Something like that. I don't really fucking remember. And I think it was in the context of Russiagate, which is, the worst conspiracy theory. Say what you will about the American conservative. Their conspiracy theories are a bit more fun than that. Yeah, I don't know. The important thing, if we're feeling like it's time to move on, and are we, Chris?
Well, the last thing I'll say, and then I'm entirely ready to move on, is I co-sign everything you just said. And man, if you want to see that on full display, and I'm guessing you don't, seeing the coverage from the people that were in the room, especially the bigger names that were in the room last night, Wolf Blitzer comes to mind immediately. Hearing these people talk about having been possibly in proximity to danger for, I don't know, maybe the first times in their lives. The kind of someone shot a gun near me, like that happens to people in a lot of cities every day, was really informative in a way that I don't think they meant it to be. And man, if they value their personal safety and the safety of those around them as much as they professed to last night, I am waiting to see what's going to happen when they find out about Gaza.
Yeah, well, they're not. So, there's pretty safe to say by now. If you haven't, you're not going to. Wolf Blitzer. I remember when I was like in middle school, and of course that being 20 years ago now, and Wolf Blitzer was still being Wolf Blitzer on the TV back then. And I remember like thinking like, oh, this is like the smart guy. This is like the smart guy of the program. So like my prepubescent brain, my infant brain was able to intune the sort of character that Wolf Blitzer plays. But he's got to be one of the dumbest guys. Like the absolute kayfabe that goes into like analyst and like expert sort of branding in the upper echelons of the cable news sphere is crazy, because you just have to toe that company line. and look very serious the entire time while you're doing it. But it actually behooves you to be a complete dumbass.
Yeah, that really is an asset in the job. I think being a completely credulous dumbass and also being born with the name Wolf Blitzer, I think gets you a long way on that path.
Do you think that is that his actual name?
It's a good question. Let me hit the Google machine. Oh, the last thing I'll say actually is that Brace Belden is doing the absolute funniest thing that Brace Belden could do. This is Brace Belden of TrueAnon podcast fame for those of you who've heard us talk about TrueAnon before. He is pretending that he was there. And,
dude, that's awesome.
Pretty convincingly pretending he was there, and I'm almost positive he was not.
Of course he wasn't. On what?
Brace gets himself into some weird places, but I don't think he was there.
On what platform is he doing that?
Twitter, I'm guessing. I've seen screenshots.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't seen that. I've been delightfully offline.
Good.
So I have not seen anything, but I do think that Brace does the funniest stuff with Twitter that's still possible left to do. So I gotta check that out.
Wolf Blitzer, by the way, born Wolf Isaac Blitzer.
Damn. That's like the kind of...
In Germany. He's a Kraut.
Of course someone named Wolf Blitzer is born in Germany. I was just about to make the joke that, like, that's like a name... That's a name that, like, a tank commander would phone home on day 8, you know? Day 8 of the Blitzkrieg. Congratulations, Herr Blitzer. You have a newborn baby at the home. And he just goes, chewing out his gums, dude. He's just like, name him Wolf Blitzer.
Yep, just absolutely gacked on the finest amphetamines the Third Reich had to offer.
The finest. They had really good stuff, you know.
Folks just don't make amphetamines like that anymore.
They just don't. No. What? You know, you're always talking about the MREs. Mm-hmm. I would, if somebody was like, hey, I have some, never mind. I'm not going to say anything more about that. Okay. I would try that kind of old MRE, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah. The MRE guy, Steve MRE 1989 or 1985 or whatever he is, the guy on YouTube, as all the MRE heads would know. He gets ones that have like old, pet pills and stuff in it, and he doesn't take them, or at least he doesn't.
That's so
say
annoying.
That he's taking them. I would be fucking taking those.
Yeah, like
I would.
The half-life on those substances is certainly passed, but you gotta find out.
Yeah. If I go out taking vintage amphetamines, I want you to know I died doing what I loved, and I don't even like amphetamines.
But it's just it's the commitment to historical accuracy. Is you have to kind of understand that headspace, because everyone from little children and sweet housewives in the countryside were popping meth like crazy in Nazi Germany. Read a really good book on that. I think I've talked about it before on this program. It's called Blitzed. And it was an integral part of their economic recovery.
Yes, it was.
Much like fraud outright fraud is an integral part of our economic recovery since about 2008. Say what you will about the tenets of National Socialism. At least it's an ethos.
If it comes down to fraud and amphetamines, I can tell you which one I'm going to have more fun doing.
Yeah, exactly.
For a little while.
Yeah, right. Until it's not fun. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing with amphetamines, or so I hear.
The dread.
No joke. I am not an amphetamines person. That is the opposite of the experience that I have ever been seeking out of drugs.
Well, dear listener, in case you haven't figured that out by now, we're fun to hang out with. And I got a special announcement. About how you can actually come and hang out with us, and a growing by the minute roster of incredible guests at the first Outdoor Cats live show. We're calling it Eureka Street Revisited, and it is on Friday, May 8th, 1 year to the day from that terrible day that changed Worcester forever. So, tickets, you will find a link for those in the description of this episode, and in which you will also see as the header image a incredible flyer that my lovely girlfriend Katie drew up, and it will be at Hunchback Gallery, which is a really, really cool gallery space run by one Travis Duda on Webster Street in one of the scary warehouses. But don't let that scare you. It's not that scary. You go up the stairs past the 24-hour massage parlor, and then you go past a sign that says School of Magic, and you walk straight past that School of Magic sign, and then you will see the big Hunchback Graphics logo, and it's a really nice space in there, and it is going to be fun. I think it's going to be a ton of fun to do a live show, first of all, and to just have, like, people in the room who are close to it, like reflecting and, being in community with each other on this thing a year ago that, shook everything up. You know what I mean? So come out. We're doing it ticketed, but that is mostly because we want to raise some money for Luce, and we want to make sure that no weird assholes come, and that is much easier to do when the event is ticketed than if it is just free, and anyone can show up because you have sort of a way to keep people, Anyway, so
that is true.
Pass some money to Luce. Come hang out with us. Friday, May 8th, 6:30 p.m. We'll probably do a couple hours, split it up. We are still in the works of figuring out our lineup and all of that. So, but I think it's going to be fun.
Folks, I said I was going to do my own remix of the Cosmic Winds song that we used to use during the early episodes. I didn't. We said we were going to make you a country song. We have, but not fully. We said we were going to do a live show, and we are doing it.
We are doing it.
So, also, if you haven't been down to Webster Street, people, you're about to find a pretty cool little secret. Webster Street is one of the coolest streets in Worcester, because you go down Webster Street, you drive down Webster Street, and you are like, this is like a weird, creepy factory graveyard, and I shouldn't stop my car here. And you're mostly wrong. And when you do go somewhere on Webster Street and you get out of your car and you're just kind of hanging down there for a little while, you will start to hear things like bands in practice spaces, or like people in a gym slamming weights where the weights are all like rusty because all the equipment's from 1985. Or you'll walk past the Magic Place. And inside of these buildings, there is all kinds of really cool, creative stuff still happening. People doing cool shit, because it's one of the last places in the city where the space is really cheap.
Mm-hmm. True story. One of those warehouses was the first place I think I went to in Worcester in a freaking social capacity. I have been on Webster Street for my entire time here, basically. A band that I was in called Mountain Man, like a decade ago now. They had a practice space there. I was in that practice space for a number of years, and every time I go down there, I'm seeing people I know. It really is the hub of what they used to call Wormtown before the beer place ruined that. Sort of the underground scene of Worcester, yeah. And Travis is doing an amazing job holding that down in the art world. His gallery is super, super, super cool. He's always doing interesting stuff there. And it would be nice to bring sort of a new cast of characters out there to introduce them to that space, because it's a really good sort of entry point to getting connected to some of that stuff that goes on. There's you walk in and there's flyers, there's all sorts of different little stuff from different little makers and stuff, and an awesome rotation of zines and visual art, and we're gonna figure out how to do a live podcast in there. It's definitely a big enough space, but we are capping the event at 50 people, which would be a great problem to have if we exceed that, and then maybe we'll try to find somewhere bigger. But this is all kind of on short notice, so.
Yeah. Figure that unless you hear otherwise, figure it's going to be at Hunchback Gallery, and it's going to be a hard cap, I think, of 50 people, because as Bill said, we do have a lot of really cool guests. I think we should probably not
don't say
them,
yeah.
But some very special guests with proximity to the event, who are going to be able to tell you their perspective as people who were there and involved when this happened. And so, yeah, if you really want to be there, don't wait. Don't take the risk that this is going to be way more popular than we think it is somehow, and get your tickets.
Yes, get a ticket. It's all of the money besides the fuck you fees that Eventbrite is charging me are getting sent to Luce's neighborhood fund, which is direct support for families that have been impacted by ice or are laying low. So, yeah, so I think that is all we need to do. I don't want to get caught going down the proverbial road of talking about the subject matter, because I kind of want to save that for the event itself. But I think that it's definitely May 8th is a event is a day on the calendar to note with some significance for Worcester and for our sort of the whatever you want to call it in Worcester, the progressive movement, the nominal left, whatever. It's a very important day. So it feels fitting to mark it with us kicking it up a notch, trying a live show. And yeah.
Yeah, and we are, and when I say we are, really Bill is with some folks behind the scenes, really working to make this not just the two of us sitting at a table talking. That is not what we have in mind for this at all. We're trying to make this a live podcast for a reason, so that you can I wasn't there, so I don't know what the fuck I'm even doing there. I don't know, I'll turn the lights on and off or something. But
fog machine. It's fog machine.
Yeah, I'll run the fog machine.
Yeah, we need somebody on fog.
It's exactly the level of responsibility I'm looking for. Yeah. So that's perfect.
Oh shit, I forgot to tell you, dude. You have to go buy a balaclava. You're playing the Ice Agent.
Oh, fuck yeah. I already have a balaclava, dude. Don't worry about that.
Okay, yeah, duh, of course you do.
I got a balaclava. I got a I don't know, level, whatever the small caliber arms level of vest is. I'm ready. You
can come kitted out. That's good.
I can come kitted out. I'm ready, and I'm only ready to play an Ice Agent. I don't have those things for any other reasons.
Right. Yeah, we only have that for theater, yes. Theatrical purposes. Yeah.
I'm a theater kid. Everybody knows that about me.
That's right.
Right. I'm super excited about this, and it also provides the perfect transition to one of the only other things that I did have today. Even though I brought nothing to the table, essentially, for this episode, I want you to know that I tried, Bill, and I got so I was sniffing the corner of the baggie so hard that I went to Reddit, which is something I really try not to do unless I'm looking for a specific answer to a specific question. I went to the Worcester Reddit, and unfortunately, the only things of note. Well, I have a funny thing for the end that I found there, but the things that I found of note were two recent ice actions actually in the city. So this is very much still a problem. We're not looking in the rear view mirror of what happens when ice comes to Worcester and steals our neighbors. It's still happening. On the 22nd, so that would be Wednesday, agents knocked out someone's window and pulled a middle-aged man out of his car at what looks like the parking lot, the surface lot across from the courthouse.
Yeah, it is.
So
so I had somebody sent me. They were there. They sent me videos. And one funny thing I really do have to point out, and this isn't going to translate to an audio podcast, but I don't know what videos they have on Reddit. But Chris, is one of them where the guy whose mask is falling off his nose is like barking at whoever's holding the camera to like stay where they are.
Yes.
And then there's like sort of a more portly, shorter gentleman behind him.
Yep.
And
that is 55 seconds into the video that I have in front of me exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so that is fascist Mr. Leahy and Randy. like a young Mr. Leahy and Randy. And if you watch it, maybe I'll put the clip in here and see if it might translate audio wise, but it's not really going to. But anyway, we'll stick a link to this, and just for the trailer park heads in the listening to this right now, just watch this clip with like sort of a 24-year-old Mr. Leahy and Randy in your mind, because once you watch it, the way that the guy in the background is sort of clinging onto his vest and sticking his belly out and just letting the other guy do the talking it's very Randy coded, the way that he is the way that he's handling the situation. Man's got to eat, you know.
Exactly. No, it is. He's very Randy coded in more ways than just his, his physical stature. It is very funny to watch him just like kind of stand there and shuffle and hold this vest while his eyes dart around desperately, even though he's in zero danger.
No, go ahead.
Oh yeah, and just the other guy, the main guy, the Jim Leahy in this situation, with his mask on, but way down below his eyes and way down below his nose. If you had to identify him by his mouth, you would be fucked. But if you had a picture of his face, you could actually figure it out. I'm sure.
Yeah. So I've looked into it about as much as I can, and it happened at 8:45 in the morning. So, and the guy that they took, it's a middle-aged guy. I know his name, but I don't see the reason in sharing that right now.
Yeah,
so he had a scheduled court appointment, and they got him in the courthouse parking lot. So that's very much part and parcel with what they're doing. Their strategy, that's a strategy that goes back a long time, by the way. They're just doing it in a much more grotesque way. And I have been hearing Democrats in the state talking for months now about banning them from doing that. And it seems like, hurry up and get going, right? Like, why isn't it banned yet, right? I guess it wasn't technically on courthouse property, so I don't know.
Yeah, it wasn't, which is an interesting distinction, but Yeah, certainly we could and should be doing that. And I will say that, oh, excuse me. Um, I will say that I think I've talked about it a little bit or maybe obliquely on the show, but I have had experience pretty extensively with trying to shield people from ICE detainers, we'll say, because when I worked at the bail fund, it's a place where they pick people up because they're lazy. So when you bail someone out of jail, they know where they are, and they know where they're going to be. And so it was a pretty regular thing, and it was very similar when we would bail people from courthouses. And again, to your point, this was under the Biden administration and the first Trump administration and the Obama administration, for that matter. But yeah, specifically under Biden, I had a lot of these experiences. I will only implicate myself, and I don't think I did anything illegal, but I had an experience at the Fitchburg courthouse once, bailing a guy from court, and we knew ICE wanted him, and we knew they were going to be there, and they were. And we were able to put together a little crack team to get this guy bailed out, have people looking for federal agents inside and outside, and get this guy out a door and into a car and gone. So we won, fuckers.
Nice.
They're really lazy and stupid is the point.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's gotten a lot worse. And I don't know. I don't know why we haven't done anything about that, Maura Healy.
Yeah.
It's a great question.
It's March, the last week of March. I'm reading about it right now. The last week of March, it hit her desk, as it were. So we're still waiting for that signature a month later. And I'm reading here in Massachusetts Lawyers Weekly that, some of these trial judges are really against it because it's going to, quote, disrupt the soft diplomacy between courts and ICE. And goddamn, do I have hate in my heart reading that. It's just fucking...
Yeah,
it's really, really we have to maintain our niceties with the ICE bureaucrats that we allow into our courtrooms to take work off of our plate. Fucking piece of shit. Anyway.
Literally the only thing that you could possibly need them for is just being like, well, I can't do enough to fuck this person's life up from the bench, so I'm just hoping that these fucking fascists come in and kidnap this person and I don't have to deal with them anymore. Yeah. That's it. Like, they're Keystone cops. They're not going to come and testify in your local trial. They're of no use to you, except for that one. It's so maddening. It's worth mentioning too that Massachusetts is the only Democrat supermajority state that still has a state level 287G agreement in place. That allows the Department of Corrections to directly collaborate and share information with ICE. We're the only quote unquote blue state that allows that to happen.
There's so many things about Massachusetts, or it's like, how do we have the branding of being like a progressive state? Like, okay, we got, sure, you got Mass Health and you got the gay marriage vote, but the gay marriage vote, not to take away from the significance of that at the time, like, you can't really count it anymore, I don't think, as like a feather in the cap of our great institution of state government.
To be clear, we never had a quote gay marriage vote. We had the Goodrich decision in 2004, where basically city clerks, including our own at the time, David Rushford, a man that I, for a very down the middle liberal, a guy I have a lot of respect for, actually. But that was a court decision, and then there was a pushback to put marriage equality on the ballot, and that was defeated at a constitutional convention. So the legislature took a vote. But
Okay.
if we had put that in Massachusetts' hands as voters to vote on the rights of a minority, I'm sorry, dude. I don't think it would have passed.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't know that about the clerks and Worcester as clerk being involved in like this. So they sent up a court case about that.
Yeah, so basically they decided there is an association of clerks, and I'm recounting a story that David Rushford told me, because I talked to him about this because I was interested in it. It happened right when I moved to Massachusetts, back to Massachusetts rather, and it was like the first. It's where I cut my teeth as an activist. It was the first activist work I ever did. And so, to probably butcher his telling of it to me, is that there's kind of a faction of clerks that are the city clerks, and then there's a faction of clerks that are the town clerks. And there's people that cross those lines, but the city clerks tended to be more on the vanguard with this issue. And they started issuing marriage licenses and being like, let the court say, put it in court, see if what they say, if it's legal.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and the Goodrich decision was a Supreme Judicial Court, so our state Supreme Court decision that said that it was. But that's how it got there. It was activist clerks that decided to do something that wasn't, quote unquote, against the law, but that hadn't been done, and to really put it out there to see how the legal challenge shook out.
I like that.
Yeah.
I think that I don't know if Worcester's involvement in that has been properly documented. We're we're still trying to figure out whether or not you can have you can celebrate Pride on a Jewish holiday, which has apparently been a big controversy. Which being neither gay nor Jewish, I feel like I don't have a leg to stand on with that one. But I hope that everyone figures it out and moves on, right?
I just hope everyone has a good time. I feel the exact same way. I am not in a place to have really any perspective on this. And so I think the only thought I have is that, as per usual, our friend and past guest, Joshua Croak, came out with what I thought was a really terrific statement on behalf of Love Your Labels, who had moved their events to not interfere with Rosh Hashanah.
I want to, you know what, since we're just kind of winging it right now, I should have that bookmarked a little bit, and I'd like to read it. So what if we just kind of like, well, I don't know. That's kind of a lot to read.
It's up to you. It's up to you. Do you have it already?
I am looking at it right now. Yeah.
All right. Before we finish on the courthouse stuff, there's another ICE thing. We'll get to that in a second. But before we finish with the courthouse stuff, I think it's important to say also that people, I think, I hope more people realize this than maybe I think just from my conversations with people about court. But let's take aside the fact that people going to pretrial criminal events have not necessarily done anything wrong, certainly shouldn't be kidnapped and sent to some ICE facility to be shipped off to either their home country or maybe a completely different country that they've never been to. But people have to go to court for a lot of reasons. People have to go to court to get child support. People have to go to court to get divorced. People have to go to court to get restraining orders. People have to go to court for a lot of reasons. And there was an article just in the past week or so that I'll try to find that talked about how the chilling effect that ICE hanging around courthouses has had on people trying to seek those services, including victim services. And so If you're a Law and Order type, or you know one, and it comes up, that's something that you might just want to point out, have them think about for a minute. Is yeah, abuse victims, harassment victims, people that are trying to separate from a shitty partner, et cetera, et cetera. People are trying to get custody of their kids or modify custody of their kids, all those things. Those people are afraid to go to the courthouse if their documents are whacked because they might get grabbed up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's that reminds me of a headline that I just read a couple of minutes ago that I would like to repeat here if I can find it, but I can't. Shrewsbury cop actually went down for domestic abuse. So
you
don't see that every day, but it does happen every day.
Yeah, went down for domestic, brandishing a gun, I think allegedly having drugs in his possession while he was doing these things and being intoxicated and or on drugs. I did something that I try not to do ever, and I wandered into the comments on a post about this.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, my bad. Dude, I probably just have to really just quit Facebook soon.
Dude, Facebook is the mind killer, dude.
you can't block enough stuff that you don't just get these random pages that are clearly just like AI generated or generated by people who are trying to make, $3 a month on engagement money or something, that are just like, they're just designed to make people argue with each other on Facebook. But there was one, and it discussed this topic, and there were a bunch of people saying, I thought it was innocent until proven guilty. About this specific topic was his job, which he is suspended with pay from.
Right.
It's like, he is innocent until proven guilty. You'll notice he's not in jail. I think he was released on PR. He's just suspended from his job, where his job is carrying a gun and being able to take away people's liberty and, like, ideally be able to conduct himself like a respectable adult in the process. And someone who brandishes guns and beats their wives and stuff, allegedly, maybe you want to have another look.
You know what I just thought of as pretty grim is that where is somebody who is suspended without pay going to go? Home. What? That's kind of the last place you want a person like that. Given the alleged crime and allegedly question. But maybe that's part of the appeal of doing that. Is like sending a little bit of a special punishment home for somebody who dares to speak out about a thing that's more widely perpetrated and faced than we know about and will ever know about.
Yeah, and I don't know anything about these specific people involved at all. But man, I sure have watched a lot of cop getting arrested for DUI videos. It's one of my favorite kinds of YouTube videos. And cops, there is nothing cops want to do less than arrest another cop. They try so hard not to do that.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
they're doing the alphabet backwards, and they're like, Z, Z.
Wait, you said you wanted to take the breath test. Are you sure you want to take the breath test? It's your right to refuse the breath test.
Yeah. Chris, I have a short 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sentence reading series for you.
Hit me. Actually, yeah. The only thing I'll say is I keep saying that, man. That's. I'm going to stop saying that. The other ice story that I saw was from about a week and a half ago, and it was just behind the courthouse on Lincoln, kind of behind that creepy AT&T building, and it looks like they just pulled up on like some fucking landscape truck. Parked on the street
No.
outside of Mass College of Pharmacy. Yeah, that's what the video looks like to me. It was just like, oh, landscapers. Anyway,
That was
that's all I got.
I didn't see that one. I didn't see that one.
It is also in the show notes. It's under the hyperlink "been back" in the sentence that says "ICE has been back."
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll have to watch that. That sucks, man. Just pulling up people on who have real jobs doing real work, and your job is to just cosplay as like a freaking cowboy.
Your job is to steal people who do real work. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It really is the revenge of the unemployed. I think that's a Chapo thing, but it's the unemployable. The revenge of the unemployable on the rest of society.
Here was a Facebook comment that I didn't make, but I saw earlier today a post for a pro-ICE demonstration at the ICE regional headquarters in Burlington, Massachusetts. And I didn't do this, but I wanted to tell all of the people in that thread that were excited to go that they should just, apply to be agents. They'll take fucking anybody.
They'll take
money
anybody.
Where your mouth is, man.
Yeah. What are you scared? What are you scared of? Yeah.
What are you scared of?
What? You haven't experienced enough social death already? I mean, obviously you have. Oh, one more thing on the ICE thing. This is the episode of One More Thing. You'll notice in the video with Randy and Mr. Leahy that they're driving kitted out Nissans.
Yes.
So
wired for lights and everything. So those are like, that's not a rental they picked up this morning.
There is a MAGA donor car dealership owner in Newton, in the eastern part of the state. That and there's a guy on Blue Sky who is bleeding about this all the time. Nathan P. Boston, a reader, 7 Possums in an AFI hoodie, sent along this information to me when I was like, hey, it's kind of weird that they're driving Nissans. So it looks like this car dealer has a sweetheart deal going with the Trump administration where they're buying up all of his Nissan Armadas to turn into ICE deportation carts. And he's making $9 million selling these Nissans to Trump. So you gotta wonder how much he donated, right? Yeah.
God, that's so surprising. I feel like dealership owners just, the last people you expect to be complete scumbags.
It's like obvious the entire thing, if you think about it, can probably be traced back. Like this entire ballooning, 5th largest standing army in the world can probably be traced back to sweetheart deal kickbacks in various dealership style, the dealership coded bourgeois, right? Of the large American flag variety. So we're talking like fence companies. We're talking like companies like Axon, right? We're talking car dealerships. I mean, if there's a boat angle, boat dealerships, we love our voters, you know? Like, how much of this expansion is just, like, putting these goons in useless tech, stupid cars for what they're doing. Like, a Nissan Armada is a stupid car for what they're doing. And to just, like, you know, grease the palms of people who helped out Trump.
No, absolutely. I really think, I actually really think there's something there. And when I am king, dealerships, I got bad news for you. You are nationalized.
Boom, instantly nationalized.
Boom.
Yeah.
Car dealerships, boat dealerships, ATV dealerships, those little 3-wheel rocket cars that blast music, nationalized.
Yeah. Small business owner re-education camps opened.
Mm-hmm.
Unindoctrinating begins on Monday. So just be, you know, if Kevin Meehan is listening to this, he should be nervous. We are taking the town of Mendon back from you, sir. We are stripping you of land and title. He really does own that town. It's kind of, I like know somebody who like works who would know. I know somebody who would know, and he owns that town. Like, he has every municipal board is like fixed for him and shit. That's crazy.
He's the diamond guy.
He is little town. Come on down to the little town of Mendon. He has a Ford dealership.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Yep.
He flew like I think he flew an American flag at half mast on January 6th or something like that.
I remember this.
Outside of his mattress firm store that he also owns, he's like he has his hands in the mattress firm franchising. You know, just a piece of shit.
Yeah. Look, those kinds of people, the medium small business tyrants, I'm coming for you. And, you know, you will be offered re-education, but I'm going to warn you right now, it's not going to be easy.
No, it's
going to be pretty tough. You might not make it through.
We're going to make you read the shit that sucks. Like, like Engels.
Yeah, you're going to have to read the shit that sucks. And, you know, if that's not going well, I don't know if you've ever heard of the Trail of Tears, or the Bataan Death March. There's probably going to be a lot of marching. Yeah,
and you know, I would leave the golf cart in the spot, parked in the spot now. You should be walking the links to get ready for it, get used to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Golf cart dealers, you're also on the hook.
Oh my God. Imagine just making those people like just walk around a golf court, golf, what is it called? Golf club?
Golf course?
Golf course.
Yeah, you were so close, Bill.
Golf court. I love sport. I love to sport. I love all sport.
Yeah, you do love to sport.
I love to sport. I'm sporting right now. Yeah.
Bill, you had a reading series, I thought.
Oh, yes. So my last written post was about rent control. Joe Petty coming out against it pretty hard for like kind of apropos nothing. Although he is raising some money right now. And you know a mayoral a content mayor doesn't raise a lot of money in the April after an election. I'll just say that. Like, it's kind of sketchy that he's raising some money from some big players right now. Maybe he's trying to redux on Robin Kennedy's seat, which, you know, that would be fun. Go ahead.
Good fucking luck, bro. I love to watch you fail. Please do it.
So whatever he's considering, you should consider that he is going to do so having learned nothing, with the same political acumen that is on display in these 5 sentences from a Mass Live article that I'm about to read. Last week, the mayor released a statement arguing that this fall's proposed ballot question on rent control would hinder Worcester's goal to build 12,000 units of housing by 2033. A goal that was, I'm ad-libbing here, but a goal that was written by a industry specific consulting firm hired to help them compose a state compliance document called an affordable housing plan that only exists to make it easier for towns to reject affordable housing. Anyway, next sentence. But in 2025, Petty wrote in a questionnaire that he supported a home rule petition to allow Worcester to stabilize rents. Now, before I keep going, I want to remind everyone that rent stabilization and rent control are synonyms, and you will hear so much of a concerted effort to disentangle the two terms to suggest that they mean something different over the next however many months until November. They're the same thing. Rent control and
Yes, we are going to be voting on this in November, and you, my friend, are going to be voting on this in November. I'm guessing we have a pretty high regular voter, super voter contingent in our listener base, but to not make that assumption, you need to vote this November, even if all the gubernatorial candidates suck. Even if your House and or Senate seats, your state House and state Senate seats are unopposed or they're boring, you got to vote because rent stabilization / rent control is going to be on the ballot. And Bill, a couple other things. I'm just going to go off the top of my head here. I think you can tell me if I'm wrong because you've written about this recently and presumably studied it a bit. Landlords who own properties that are 4 units or less are exempt. Is that correct?
That is absolutely correct, yeah.
Okay. And landlords, even under a rent stabilization program, can also raise your rent year to year by as much as 5%, I believe.
Yes, it's 5% or the increase in the consumer price index, which is like sort of how annual salary increases are measured. So it's kind of like the same thing, whichever is less. So yeah, they're going to be able to increase it by, let's just say, anywhere from 3 to 5% every year.
Yeah. So this is like not fucking communism, which I wish it was, but it's not. It is. It is basically like the lightest fettering of a rental market where you might live in a place and someone new buys it and they jack your rent 30, 40, 50%.
Yeah.
And now you're fucked because now you got to go, if you've still got a sweetheart deal somewhere, and God bless you if you do, now you got to go into the open market. And I was just there, and it is terrible. It's really hard to find a place to live at almost any price.
Yeah. It's so middle of the road. It's so milquetoast. The reaction to it has been crazy. But that's because, Massachusetts has historically been very free market fundamentalist about landlords. And, I'm sure that the real estate lobby is sensing a slippery slope here where people start going, wait, the state can help me? Even a little bit? Oh, wait, what? Yeah.
We don't just not have a rent control statute. Rent control is illegal by statute in Massachusetts and has been since the 90s. I think it was 1994.
Yes.
We made it illegal for even cities and towns to try to stabilize rents.
1994, yep. Crime bill year. The Clinton times, NAFTA.
What a great time to be an American.
Yeah, that's just fucking the end of history. Nothing happened ever again. So, moving on here. Petty wrote in a questionnaire that he supports home rule petition to allow Worcester to stabilize rents, aka he said in a questionnaire that he supports rent control. The grassroots organization Progressive Massachusetts gave the questionnaire to Petty and other candidates running in last year's municipal elections. That's worded a little bit weird. He filled this out on the Progressive Massachusetts questionnaire. Like every year, Progressive Massachusetts does it, like Planned Parenthood does it, the Sierra Club, all of these organizations send out all the candidates questionnaires with basic support questions. Joe Petty clicked yes on the rent control box, right? In Petty's document, which is posted online, the word yes is highlighted underneath the question. He said yes. He said he supported rent control to get the support. Progressive Massachusetts. Whatever. Last sentence here. Speaking of MassLive, on Tuesday, Petty said his answer on the questionnaire was not in support of rent control.
It's easy to confuse whether or not his answer was in support of rent control, because when they asked him if he was in support of rent control, he said yes.
Yeah. So listen to this. It's the most Joe Petty thing.
That could be misleading.
The most Joe Petty thing I've ever heard in my life. He said his answer was in support of a general rent mitigation solution that both residents and the business community can agree to. And now here's the quote. I never said it was for rent control, Petty said about his answer. I did say that I want the state to bring people together from the business side and the community side to come up with a solution, because it's not lost on me that rent is very expensive. I never said it was for rent control, he said, having clicked yes under the question about a home rule petition to allow for rent control. But he's just so fucking stupid, dude. Like, this is just dumb. It's just dumb and boring, and it's just dumb.
And the cool, smooth brain thing about this is, as everyone knows, when you bring landlords and renters into a communication together, they're on equal footing, right?
Yeah.
Like, they both have the same power. Both of them can take each other's housing away and render the other homeless. It's like... I don't want to be a fucking, raving anarcho-socialist here, but you are in an adversarial relationship with your landlord, just as you are in an adversarial relationship with your boss. Mm-hmm. That can't be untangled. It is the way of the world until we change the system that we have. If we ever do, you are in an adversarial relationship with people who rent seek for your housing and your labor. It's that simple. There really aren't exceptions to that rule, unless you're a weirdo like Bill who works for himself or whatever. There was. I don't know if you've listened to the most recent TrueAnon bill, but this week's was really, really interesting. I won't even try to explain the concept because it was a pretty zany. It all comes together, but one of the things that comes up and that I've been thinking about a lot lately and reading a bit about is how much the revolutionary spirit of revolutionaries and counterculture activists in the United States historically was undergirded by the fact that rent and property were really cheap. And when we look around and everyone's like, oh, why isn't it the 60s? There's a lot of reasons why we've been beaten into a much more vulnerable position and a much more powerless position. But one of them is that it costs fucking, $2,000-3,000 to have a place to live.
Yep. Yeah, it's you can you can actually price control a revolutionary prospect.
Yeah.
It's one of my pet historical facts is that the student loan debt was invented to make sure that Berkeley never became Berkeley again. Like it was like expressly like the reason why they started privatizing the cost of public universities.
Yep.
Ronald Reagan idea when he was governor, so of California. So that's that's all just amazing, right?
Yeah. No, it's true. I mean, they talked about, on the individual level, but also how, nascent revolutionary entities used to do things like rent a bunch of apartments and flop houses in major cities where they were trying to organize, and rent storefronts where they were trying to organize, and rent storefronts and turn them into bakeries and childcare centers like the Black Panthers did, et cetera, et cetera. And how that's just not possible anymore. It just isn't. There's no place, we're all struggling to have a primary domicile.
Right. Yeah. That is a very good point. That is a very, very good point. And I think that it's something definitely to consider, like the sort of quiet, creeping boot getting tighter on sort of everyone's necks at once is something that often feels invisible, right? Or you don't feel it, right? What's the analogy there? It's like the frog in boiling water.
The frog in the boiling water. Yeah. No, and I don't bring this up to like be more of a bummer than I already am all the time. I actually bring it up because I think it's not an excuse, but it's an explanation. When people are like, why does the response to what's happening before our eyes feel so disproportionate to what's happening? And it's not, there's a lot of factors. There's, there's no one reason. There's not even any like 10 reasons. But one of the reasons, I think, I've become increasingly convinced as I've been thinking about it, is that there's that factor of one of our most basic and essential costs of living has fucking skyrocketed. And to have a place to live, you've got to bust your ass. You've got to spend a huge portion of your income. And you to have community spaces and all that.
You don't have any time left over for organizing or going to, weird meetings or anything like that,
Yep.
Yeah. The Christmas adventurers, I think they figured out that free time is the source of all revolutionary movements. So they've been doing what they can to get rid of it. Which, respect in terms of, evil genius stuff, like that's pretty good. It's better than the shit we're fed on TV as being the problem, right? It's a mental health crisis, really. Is what they're probably saying now. Yeah.
It's the male loneliness epidemic.
Right.
My favorite topic. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
Nah, the male loneliness epidemic is so like America is a sexist place in ways that we cannot really, like, in ways that you have to really think about it sideways to understand like how like deeply like misogynist of a society we live in. But just the idea of like ascribing the condition of loneliness as being like something that either is particular to men in any way is it's whether you're being self-effacing about male superiority, or you are like indulging in the fiction of it, like it's still there. It's still there, brother. How about we just talk about loneliness, right? Why does it have to be male loneliness?
Yeah, I think there is a real loneliness epidemic. I think that, there is a fracturing of our society and a fracturing of the shared reality and the shared social spaces that is really profound, and has had a massive impact on our social lives and our sense of community. But yeah, I saw this great video a week or so ago. It was a woman talking about the male loneliness epidemic, and basically saying, like, I don't know, try to stop being undateable, maybe, men. Like, learn how to cook, learn how to do like a single chore, learn how to engage with your partner in a partnership, and like, so on. And maybe you'll find a partner. And, you know, I think there's maybe something to that. I have convinced someone to marry me not once but twice, and I'm not a catch, really. So yeah, maybe there's something to jumping into a partnership and being the person who can cook a mean dinner, or just fucking wipe your ass. And I was going to say not leave piss on the floor, but Aaron would definitely take exception to me saying that.
Yeah, it's an aspiration. Like it's it's aspirational.
Always trying to be better. Always
Right.
trying to be better. Just trying to improve the little things.
Bring out the best.
And yeah, the funny thing to me too, I remember not that long ago reading about the actual gender, the actual numbers by binary gender in China, and how, like, China has for complicated reasons related to the one-child policy and other things, China has a lot more men than women. And I was trying to wrap my head around this, and so I looked up the numbers at some point. China has an entire United States of more men than women.
Dude.
It's like 300 million.
Dude, that's
so
not good. That's not good.
If you are a hetero dude in China and you can't find a girl, I feel for you. There's a shortage. In the United States, you have no such excuse. There is no male loneliness epidemic. What there is a glut of men who want something between like a dishwasher and a sex toy. And I'm sorry. Like, I mean, I'm not sorry. Like, you're be better.
Yeah. It's almost like it's a toxic culture that eats itself alive in any way that it can, and it's not long for this world. And what I'm hearing you say, Chris, the subtext of it is that China could basically D-Day America with the population of America and not really feel it that hard, right?
Yeah, just quote unquote, if we're being mercenary here, and devaluing human life, which I am, and I love to do.
Yes.
China could D-Day the United States with the entire population of the United States that was just quote unquote excess men.
Yes.
And they should.
And yeah, and then we'll all lay down our arms immediately and have fun and go to the doctors and have apartments, and it'll be cool. Yeah, all you have to do is just land with a couple of bullhorns, be like, you can go to the doctor and you don't have to pay your landlord so much anymore. And we'd be like, okay, we're on your team.
Yeah, I try to keep my overt sedition to a minimum, but I will say right now, openly, as I think I've said before, China, if you arrive on our shores, I will not fight you. I am laying down my arms. I am ready to receive you, President Xi, and I will do my best to work on my cultural value score.
Which is different from a credit score, somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We don't have that. We just have a credit score, which is much more brutal and immoral. Yeah. Oh, man.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess we just did. Well, no, we didn't, actually, because that was all for parody. That was all comedy. It was comedy style stuff. And you know what? You know what? You listen to this and you're saying, I'm a little lonely. You know how you cure your loneliness? You get some cheap $8 tickets. You come to Hunchback Gallery on May 8th, and you come hang out with us and a bunch of other cool people as we try to channel a bummer of a situation into something productive that we can we build on and learn from. So I think have you considered that? Have you considered that?
Everyone there will be as weird as you. Everyone there will be as neurotic and anxious as you. I will be there, so I will be smarter than you, but everyone else won't be.
Yeah, and I'll be dumber than you.
As smart as you, or they'll be dumber. Yeah,
I will be dumber than you are if you're there. I'm the dumbest guy in the room. Yeah. What else? I think we're good. I think we're good on stuff, Chris. I don't know if you have any dessert for us this week, or if we're just going to make sedition the dessert.
We are good. We somehow managed to turn nothing into an hour and 21 minutes, probably minus some cuts. But I do have one more thing for you. And one of my favorite things is doing things that are terrible for an audio format. So if you could go to the show notes and go to the next episode section and look at the last link. It's called "Look Out for the Whippet Squirrel at Big Y." I just want to soak in your reaction to this photo, which we will link so people can see it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Did you find it? I can text it.
Look out for the Whippet Squirrel at Big Y. This just in. There is a Whippet Squirrel doing whippet, huffing cans of whipped cream outside of the Big Y.
Extra.
The squirrel is reported to say is going, whoa, that's crazy. The Whippet Squirrel is really doing it. He looks a lot like my cat. My cat loves whipped cream and eats it the same way. So I have the Whippet cat.
Yeah. I'm on my second Whippet dog. Woody loves a little. We call it the Crommers. He loves a little of the Crommers sprayed on the floor. Dave was the same way. This picture is really incredible. I spent some time looking at it. It is. What you see first is what I think would be obvious, which is that you have a squirrel who is mouth up on a container of whipped cream, which is laying on its side in the parking lot.
Yep.
If you look a little deeper, we've got a hand carriage,
yes.
One of the hand baskets that you would carry for small amounts of groceries, which looks to have several more whipped cream canisters in it.
I would say 4 to 5 whipped cream canisters. Yeah.
Easily. Yeah. So, the story behind the story here is someone got out of the store with the store hand basket with several containers of whipped cream. And I'd just like to know more about what happened here. But
you know what I'm reminded of?
First...
You go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I'm reminded of, in 2020, everyone's kind of losing their minds. We're at fever pitch of the Black Lives Matter stuff, and
Of course.
the feds are putting pallets of bricks to get you in trouble. Rumors started to swirl. I didn't believe that, but I believe this. I think that somebody is putting a pallet of bricks next to this squirrel to see if he'll throw them. And brother, he's throwing them.
He's throwing them. This is, you put a carton of cigarettes next to a chimpanzee and see if they smoke them. He smokes them.
Yeah.
And this squirrel is ripping bangers out in the parking lot. What I was going to say, and I think we can probably leave it here. First comment on this post is from MTB Mike, and it is like a small cocaine bear. That is a perfectly Reddit way of being spot on.
Yep, that's awesome. The Whippet Squirrel, Worcester's answer to the cocaine bear. Oh, yep. Man, that's awesome. I love it. I love it. This is. I'm gonna ponder this image for quite a while. It's got some compositional details also that are quite remarkable. It's the long shadows. So we're looking at like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock style shadows of trees getting cast over. I got a really nice juxtaposition. I'm working on my art terms because we're having this event in an art gallery, right? So I'm Googling like, hey Gemini, tell me what art is, stuff like that. And you got this sort of you've got like a lot of contrast going on, right? So it's
it's an amazing rule of thirds. Just like I think the one and only thing I learned about taking like the most basically interesting photos, which is that you want your subject matter to kind of fall into the thirds of the picture. This is doing a really good job with that. Also, I'm looking at this red handbasket, and it looks all white on the inside. I can't tell if that's overexposure from the sun or if there's been some kind of whipped cream explosion.
No, that's getting crazy with it. Like there's just like the blown up canister in it. I mean, I guess if you do zoom in, if you computer enhance, then there's a case to be made that the entire rim of it is actually coated with a fine layer of whipped cream, like a fresh snow.
I'm Fox Mulder, man. I want to believe.
If it is you who is leaving the whipped cream out for the squirrels, we want to hear from you. We tried a tip line for a while. I am setting up a new one for the show, but it's not ready yet. By the next episode, we'll have a perfectly functioning and completely anonymous tip line with a number that's not connected to my personal cell phone number. And I don't have to use my phone to be the line of the tip. So, very exciting news. We want to hear from you if you are the squirrel encourager. What's it called when you're enabler? The enabler. We want to hear from the enabler. All right, Chris, I think that's a good place to leave it, unless you got anything else.
No, that's all I got. Live show coming. Audio journal type thing, tip line,
yes,
anonymized type thing coming. More details coming soon, but please utilize it without getting into details. It will be potentially a part of what we're trying to do with the live show. So I'm so excited, Bill. I think it's gonna
be really, really fun, and I hope it goes well, and that we have an incentive to do them regularly, because I think that could be a lot of fun.
Agreed. All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.